Hello, how to escape the friend zone, right? So in this video, I'm gonna first teach you how to escape the friend zone with a girl you're already in a friend zone with, and the second part of the video is gonna be how you can actually prevent yourself from entering the friend zone. Okay. First part, how do you escape a friend zone? Okay, first let's understand what a friend zone is. Friend zone is basically what a girl does to a guy who's too scared to ask her out. That's it, bro. That's legit it. If you're too scared to ask her out, if you don't have enough balls, you're either gonna get put into the friend zone or you're gonna get put into the creep zone. Now, you need to be really ugly. I mean, it's the unfortunate truth, but you need to be really ugly, not only looks wise, right, but also personality wise, to get put into the creepy guy zone. Like usually, like if you're like an average looking guy, if you're an average guy and everything, right, you have an okay amount of friends. You're not that confident, but you're average confident in today's day. You'll usually get put into the friend zone, right? Because you know saying no and just letting go is like too awkward for a girl to do. So you'll get put into the friend zone when you don't have enough balls to ask her out. How do you escape the friend zone? Only one way to escape the friend zone. Try to guess. How do you escape the friend zone? You disappear. You disappear, right? And this actually worked really well for me, right? So, before COVID started, I was in fifth grade, right? And by the time it ended, bro, I was in eighth grade. So when I was in fifth grade, I had zero game knowledge. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I had zero game knowledge in eighth grade too, but a little bit of things changed up. So there was this girl, right, in my class when I was in fourth grade, right, and we knew each other pretty well, but we were just friends, right? We were legit friends. In your fifth grade, we talk a little bit. We're still friends, right? You know, COVID hits, right? We're going through puberty. We start hating each other online, you know, and by the time eighth grade starts, we've kind of hit a level of maturity, right? And you know, we break the bullshit fighting and stuff like that, and we're friends again. Ninth grade, right? I'm almost entering the friend zone when I cut myself off for like, what was it, like 2 weeks? Legit 2 weeks. Legit, it was 2 weeks. You don't even need 6 months. Cut myself off for 2 weeks, came back a Chad, right? Learned a lot of new things from my friends. And then that's when she started to get a crush on me. This is like basically the hottest girl in school. I'm not even kidding. Basically the hottest girl in school, right? You disappear, you come back, right? You come back a different person. That's how you escape the friend zone. I'm gonna, give like a detailed personality upgrade guide maybe in my next video, right? How do you prevent yourself from entering the friend zone, right? So if you ask me, there's one way to do this, but actually there's like three ways to do this. So the first way is like just see a girl you like, just go up and tell her, right? It's gonna go two ways, yes or no. That's it. You never enter the friend zone, right? If she says no, she says we can still be friends, and you can just say, like, I think I'm good, something like that, right? Or you can say, yeah, sure, why not, right? And once she said no, you know that she doesn't like you, right? So you're not gonna try extremely hard to please her. You either do that, or you, you slither in, right? Soon as you meet her, you know, break the touch barrier. The touch barrier is the biggest thing, right? That's how you get into the inner circle, right? How do you break the touch barrier? That's up to you, man. There's many ways to do this. What I like to do is, since I'm like kind of an MMA guy, I'm like, yo, what would you do if I like push you right now? You know, I slow down a hook. I just like boop them on the nose, right? Maybe just like, you know, just fucking give them a good 1-2. As I just hit them on the shoulder once, like softly, of course, like don't actually hit them, like something like this, right? And people may think that it's corny, but it's my way. That's how I break the touch barrier, right? And it's worked for me. Maybe for you it'll be like, you crack a joke or someone cracks a joke and you laugh, and you're one of those guys who just does that, like hits you, just pushes them when you're laughing. Maybe you can do that. Or what you can do is, I've seen this one like man do it in a video once, right? I think it was like an Italian man. You know, he meets these two women, he sits down, and he greets them, and he says something, right? He says something funny, right? He says like, oh, he says something that makes them laugh, and then he goes up and he, taps their knee, like, oh, something like that. And they were quite receptive to that, like they liked it, like you could see it on their face that they didn't really mind, right? And that's a good sign that if a girl doesn't do like go back, or if she doesn't say, oh, don't touch me, it usually means that they like it, that you can, like, the coast is clear, you can go your like progress up to whatever other thing you want to do. But yeah, this is how you stop entering friend zones, and that is how you get out of it. Stay happy.